Hey, cats and chicks. You know from the years watching our show that Buffalo, New York is one place to find really great artists of all kinds. Music, painting, performance, you name it, we got it here. And today we're with one of the giants, and the amount of work in this show at the Burchfield Penney Art Center is kind of overwhelming. But I am really proud to talk to a good friend of the show and mine, LeRoi Johnson, and the curator of this show is Tiffany Gaines. But how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Good to be around you again. You know, it's like old times.
Just like old times. And, you know, I've known you for many years, and then suddenly you show up, you're a painter. How did that even, what's that all about? How did that happen?
Well, I've always been a closet painter, and I started when I was very young. And I just started to show, actually a friend of yours, John, drugged me out into the real world, where I had my first show at his salon. But I had been painting through high school and through college and through law school, and had accumulated a number of pieces. And by the time I had started showing, I had also started already with had a particular style. The style was called electric primitive. So electric because it's exciting and it electrifies you, and it's very colorful, and primitive because I'm untrained, but trained in the ways of life. So
here we are in the Burchfield Penney, and that just didn't happen by magic, although the person that put it together has a little bit of maybe more magic than I know, but I just got such a good feeling from walking through this show and hearing all the different facets that went on, which isn't typical to what happens here all the time. But I'd like you to meet Tiffany Gaines, who made this all happen. So tell us, how did it happen?
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me here. I cannot take all the credit for making all of this happen. It really has been a collective effort, to the thanks of our executive director, Scott Propiak, SUNY trustee Eunice Lewin, who was a major champion in getting the financial support for this exhibition to happen. And really the conversation of getting LeRoi's work into the space is something that had started, a few years out, and I kind of came in to the project. And something that was really important to us at the Burchfield Penney and to LeRoi as well was finding a new and sort of innovative way to incorporate the community and to incorporate the voices of our youth into this exhibition, and really energize them as active participants in making the show what it is. And so with that in mind, we partnered with 4 local organizations: the Buffalo Center for Art and Technology, Squeaky Wheel Film and Media Art Center, Just Buffalo Literary Center, and the Buffalo Public Schools. And the students in each of those programs worked with LeRoi over the course of a year, learned about his art practice, learned about what it takes to be a professional artist, and from that made some really amazing multimedia works that complement so much of LeRoi's work and really enhance the major themes of the exhibition.
I'm looking at the multimedia works and the student work, and I'm having a hard time pulling one apart from the other. Like, what did you make and what did these kids make? What would you say, and maybe a couple of thoughts or comments, memories from the kids? What do you feel they walked away with, and maybe they let you in on what they really took away from this experience?
Well, I think the one main thing that they walked away was that they could do it. They could do just about anything if they put their mind to it. And that was one of my main emphasis in the project, was that I didn't want them to be me, I wanted them to be them. And they were themselves, and you can see most of this is them and just based on inspiration.
Now I'm looking at this. Now, this guy look, and you even got RJ, so I'm thinking this looks an awful lot like Rick James. Could that even be true?
Well, it looks like him. It just might be him.
Now, what's your connection to Rick James?
Well, you know what the connection. The connection is Rick is my brother, but I did this because there wasn't a lot of Rick done. We actually have a few murals in Buffalo, which are excellent.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which are really cool.
It's a great one.
But I haven't seen a lot of paintings. There's one Jalen Law did.
Jalen's great.
Very good. But this represents a particular show that we did in Dallas, Texas, and you have to look closely and understand. Sometimes you don't understand the piece. At the bottom, there are policemen who are lined up around the stage, and they're going to arrest Rick for smoking weed, which we all know today. Weed in this state is legal, but in those days it wasn't. So, you have over 300 people in there in the crowd. Just in this section. So actually at the arena there was probably close to 30,000 people. But this is my attempt to give energy to my brother. I don't very often paint real people. Most people I paint are imaginary, but this is one of the ones that I do.
He's more than real, and so are you. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to the show.
Yeah, man. I'll take two.
I'll take two.